Hello, hello, hello. This is Janet from Mixed Media Mama. Thank you for coming back, and I am excited to show you a lot of the ephemera from the pockets to the tags and things like that. I started with that first. Usually us journal makers, we usually have a routine of what process that we do things in order. Well, this time I really wanted to challenge myself, and so I took a few kits of Tracie Fox or LoveJunkJournals. I am a member of her design team. Hi, Tracie. Thank you very much. This is also going to show you how I did my pockets. It's not rocket science, but it's really, really cool. So I wanted to show you today of how-tos and what I did. So if you just humor me with this, these are all of the pertinent information for Tracie Fox. I will put all of the links down to the kits. Also, you will see in this video extra things from 49th and Market. Yes, I know I am quite close, but I do want to really tell you of how I did things, just so that you can, so we can share the love, so you can take the same idea. Maybe it'll inspire you to go and use some of your scraps, because I made all of these ephemera pockets before I knew what the size was of the journal, before I even thought. I was just having a great time. I just thought, you know what, I'm going to do this first. And usually the pockets are the last thing, just because I want to make sure I have the right size. Well, I just did mostly all of the pockets and the same size-ish, in the same, and even the tucks. So this is the first one. So, of course, the theme was E.Holden. I used a lot of E.Holden, and so I had a long piece of E.Holden, and this picture right here is upside down because I wanted to see, and you can kind of see this words, the text right there, and I put that whole piece of paper, I tore it on the top, and I put that whole piece of paper, and you can see this is from September. I think this is from her Nature's Note book, and I put it through an embossing folder that I had. I just folded this up, made it basically into a library card, or no, like a library pocket. Well, yeah, I said that right. And then I put it through the embossing folder, and then that's why I just added that, and then, that's how I did that. It's so easy. If you have scraps and you don't have, something or any, say, for instance, the library card, take a piece of paper, kind of angle things at it, make it your own. Make it your own. And of course, I used, there we go. I used 49th and Market. I fussy cutted. This is the Curators series. I fussy cutted. It's all kinds of botanical and just really beautiful, but you can tell I used Tracie's labels underneath and a little bit of cheesecloth and just made it into, nice. And so I did that away, not even knowing what I was going to do, even before I made the cover. And here is a wonderful tuck. This is made out of a coffee dyed envelope. So if I take everything out, it is just an envelope. And actually it was like a half of an envelope. And when I did not even, this is not the original shape of a punch, so I just, made it into a V. You can still see that you can put something underneath. So I put a piece of E.Holden paper underneath, and then put a little bit of vintage music paper. I did not have, and there's some more vintage music paper. I did not have, so I just use bits and pieces. This is a little bit of Tracie paper right here behind the rub-on. This was a little piece of calendar. I stamped out a label. And then this right here is 49th and Market rub-ons. And that's how I did that. That was just really, really simple. I knew I wanted to have this area as a pocket. Now you can see I sewed everything together, but I always glue things first. And my favorite glues are going to be the Yoo-Hoo glue stick, glitter glue, art glitter glue. I have also found a new one. This is my new, it's Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. That goes hand in hand with art glitter glue. And it has one of these, it has one of these, little needles that you have to keep in there. It's a steel needle, and you have to keep in there. But I always lose my needle. So I had the back part of a, oh, sorry guys. And I just put my needle in there. Velcro. Yeah, that's what happens when you get tired. So anyway, I have that, and then 3-in-1. So basically so I glue all of that together before, and I just make it into a pocket. This one, I glued down the 3 sides of it to this sheet, and this is a very sturdy, it's the first page of the signature. And I always, the first pages of every signature will always be cardstock. It will always be scrapbooking paper. It'll have a little bit more tooth rather than just copy paper, that type of a thing, just because I want to have a good cover of the signatures. And then I just glued that, on the 3 sides to there. So the next one, here it is, just a tag, skinny tag left over. It was a piece of index card. Really. Index card. And all 3 of these, the pink one, that's avocado. There is like a vintage page of a magazine. And then I had some coffee dyed, coffee dyed dictionary page maybe, or encyclopedia page. And I just put them all there together. And then I put some fabric tape on. And there again, all those blue dots, all of the butterflies and floral is rub-ons from the Curators, 49th and Market. I'm telling you, rub-ons are in to stay, especially with the 49th and Market. They are. Wow. Okay, the next one, this is easy, but I really want to show you. This was a little hack I had seen on a video. Was the whole purpose was using rub-ons. You get all kinds of little tiny rub-ons onto a sheet when you buy it, and majority of the time, 3/4 of it, or even half, let's just be real, half of it you will use, and the other half you'll just like, oh, I really don't know what to do with it. Well, I had some really, really fragile cloth. This is like a, it was actually, I believe, a old drying towel. I mean, years and years back. I'm not really sure where I got it, and I probably dyed it in coffee, and it was so fragile, I could just pull it apart. And so I knew I could not use that as hinges or anything, so I just put rub-ons onto there, And you can see how it just, I glued it. But then I went, I'm going to glue that to a tag. It will, increase the strength of the fabric, but yet it'll just really make that whole tag cool. I got that. That's a great hack to use up all of your rub-ons in this way, and then use it in big. Make little parts, put them on bigger parts. Wonderful. Okay, this is another one that I went ahead, made ahead. So you see that here's Tracie's page, and you can see a little bit of Tracie's page here. So this whole thing was a tuck. I mean, of course, I made it. It was just a piece of Edith Holden and a piece of 49th and Market paper. I put them together and I made a little slit. See, you can see that. No, you know what? I take that back. This is an envelope. Look at that inside. Yep, that is an envelope. And what I did is that I closed the envelope, cut a little slit down the side, made it into a V because I wanted the sturdiness of the envelope. This is a piece of Edith Holden page, probably leftover, and this page was 49th and Market on the Edith Holden side, and I attached both sides to that envelope, one on each side. It was just a regular small envelope. So I wanted this as a slide in, and then I just zhuzhed it up. Edith did not need anything. And on this one, I really wanted to see, this is a 49th in the Market. On the Curators, I had gotten a kit from a local store, Artsy Haven in Columbus. Hi guys, hope you're watching. And they had all kinds. So you'll see this underneath the bird cage. This is a frame right here and goes all the way around. I put the bird cage in here. Hope you can see that. And then I wanted, this is another piece of that. But I thought, wonder if, there again, I used the 49th and Market rub-ons, and I rubbed on all over those pieces of die cut pieces, and all the way up. I just kept going all the way up here, even over. Look at how, I mean, I'm rubbing over those bar of the bird cage. And I just kept using those rub-ons, and you can kind of see that is a sign of a great rub-on. I've used rub-ons forever, and they ran out of style, and then they came back in. And I'm telling you, this one was fun. This one was really fun. Okay, and then this is the one that goes right in here. And so it is also a 49th and Market, just card, Tracie's labels, but here on 49th and Market on some more rub-ons, and if you look really close, you can see that there are birds also. I just wanted some black grunge. I think that was so, really to kind of match, to blend in with this gray label on the bottom, and then I just added my own vintage tape and a little bit of lace, and there you go. See, you really can take a kit, and I really wanted to push myself. So you can see I just used a paper hinge. So I made this away from the book, not knowing what kind of book it is. Isn't that just the coolest? This was one of my favorites, really, just because of this. I did not know if the rub-ons would take, because this is very, very bumpy. You know, it is very, and you can use rub-ons in that way. So let's go on to the next. Oh, yes. And here's another envelope. This was really fun. Of course, this was just a short page. And so this part here is an envelope, and you can see that, let me take all of that out. You can see that it is, and I just put a book page. I opened the whole envelope up, and then I flipped the bottom up. Let me grab an envelope here so you can kind of see. So I had something like this, and I flipped that up. So it's like that. And there's the tuck. So before, to get the dictionary page in there, I basically just opened this up. And sometimes I like to open this bottom up so it'd be really accessible to get it in the right place and it looks right through the window. And so that's what I did. But, and then because the envelope was already dyed, it was already coffee dyed, and then I stamped on top of it. Actually, I put a dictionary or a piece of book page under right here. That's what this is. You can see you can see that. And then I stamped on top of it, and then I just added Edith Holden. This little frog was from Edith Holden. And so, of course, this was just a index card. And I use the oxides, distress oxides, and you just make whatever your palette and spritz it, and added a little bit more writing area on the back. Isn't that just so cool? So I did that, but not knowing that I would make the next tuck spot. I was wondering how I was going to attach it. So I just attached it to this avocado dyed paper, and you can kind of see the back of the envelope right there. I just attached it that way. So I did not need a hinge like the one before, but I made this away from the book. I was just at a little mini crop, and I went, that's really cool. I also made some specimen slides from Edith Holden. I thought that was just really, you know, there's many ways you can do this, but I wanted to make, I did that ahead of time. And of course, this is easy peasy. I just used scraps, and I just inked, made it kind of messy. Yeah. And then just made a nice little tuck. Same thing with here. You guys know, you're very smart. You know how to do, you know, cover a tag. I just use leftovers, a map. This little brown, this is not rusted tag. It is a tea bag. I emptied tea bags out, and I keep the mesh tea bag itself. I opened it all up, let them dry, and I have a huge pile. And I just use that and made it look rusty. It's really cute. And then, of course, a Tracie label. I just folded that down. I wanted something different at an angle. I love angles. Okay. This, isn't it just so yummy? Okay, Tracie paper onto a index, I believe. I stamped. You can see the stamp. This is a new Tim Holtz stamp. Here we go. It's, oh, sorry for the glare. It's that stamp. It's the bubbles. And I believe this was a 49th and Market butter or moth. I believe my niece would correct me. She's the bug queen. She's a doctor in bugs. And then just a Tracie. And I made this. This is vintage beeswax, Seth Apters vintage beeswax. Greatest thing ever made. I use it in so many things. You can layer it and lay. It's very similar to embossing powder, but you see those, you see that bumps? It mimics beeswax, because beeswax is encaustic, and there's a whole nother realm of working with encaustics. This is like a hack to it, but it doesn't give you that thickness, but yet it's lovely. It just strengthens things. So, and look at how it just pops that. Love that. So that's how I did that. So here again, I made this strip away. Tracie Fox and Corey Dahman. Forgive me if I mispronounce your name, Corey. I think that's who it was. She's a cluster and collage lady. Excellent. It changed my game when I watched that video. Tracie and Corey did a collaboration, and I changed the game. So I just did what Corey, the kind of a cluster right here, and I just added I believe this might be even Tim Holtz, with a little bit of cheesecloth underneath, made it into a nice, I did that away. See, you can make all kinds, and that's one thing Corey had said, you can make all kinds of these little strips, put them anywhere, and you already have them made ahead of time. So I did that. And this one is just a piece of the 49th Market, but these circles, these are not stamps, they are rub-ons. That circle, and you can, I don't know, let me go right here. It's a rub-on. And then, of course, that is a 49th Market rub-on too, onto a piece. I did that way ahead of time too, and same weekend. Isn't that just lovely? Lovely, lovely. Okay, this is a fun one. I'm going to try to find the video that I learned a different folding of. I think it was one of the team members, Jody. Not sure. I will go find that, and I will put the link down where I found how to fold these totally different from papers. This paper, I believe, is Tracie's, and that's really nothing. That's just collage of paper. But I want to get really close on the flap here. And of course, you can see I tucked it behind a specimen card. And real flowers from my mother's real flowers. So anyway, I wanted to show you this tree. You can see the black. This tree is 49th Market rub-on. This little stamp, it is a thin die that came in the Curators. And then this butterfly or moth. I'm not a bug person. I mean, I like them, but I don't know. And I just put that. Isn't that the coolest? And it really adds just the right amount on that flap. Because if you open this up, you can see, and I sewed around it, and I didn't care, you can see that this envelope is just a little bit different. It's not an ordinary, and of course these feathers are from 49th Market too, and I fussy cut that. Isn't that just the coolest? I made a buttload. When I found out, I made a buttload, and I did make, and that goes right behind there. And of course I just glued it on. Made that ahead of time. So you're kind of getting the theme here, aren't you? So this one right here, this is a CD holder envelope. All right? CD holder envelope. And I just made I cut a piece of E.Holden, added a little rub-on. So CD holder envelope, added the dictionary paper or story or vintage book page. I wanted to have a little bit more shiny. I did not want to so I cut on the rub-ons. I cut the plastic out. I wanted to have that shiny there, and I glued it on. If you use the Barely Art Precision craft glue or the glitter glue. It dries clear. So same thing down here. Loved that just little shine. Okay, this was a card from the 49th and Market. Now, the flowers is a rub-on. But if you look really closely, you see this green frame. That's all it was just basically a piece of... So the rub-on had the book and the ledger, the flowers. Oh, sorry about that. The flowers, and I just stamped on there. Isn't that just the coolest? And of course, again, 49th and Market, added E.Holden. That was perfect. That just fits right in here. Same thing, E.Holden, just leftover. This is literally a leftover onto a card, playing card. And all of that is Tracie's cluster. Corey. Thank you. Appreciate that. I really, really do. That literally that. And then I just hinged it. So I did not know how I was going to do that. So I knew I was going to hinge. I mean, that's the easiest thing. You don't have to sew them into. You can just put a nice little paper hinge or fabric hinge, or it's just a piece of paper and you just fold it and put it between the layers and there's your hinge. You still got place to journal or put pictures. So the next one is, oh, this is easy peasy. Leftover stuff, guys. Leftover stuff. That's really all it is, leftover. I did not want to throw it out, and I wanted to use these little 49th Market dies. So leftover. And of course, going back to this tag, that was easy too. Let me explain. Tracie's paper right here. Tracie's paper. These are leftover strips. These are parts of the pieces that I used in a previous and leftover. And of course, this was a 49th and Market. The butterflies, or the moths, excuse me, and this brown label is 49th and Market. So I edged everything up with vintage photo, layered it, and it really came out really nice. Put a little thing on top, and there you go. Leftovers. Leftovers. Just the coolest. Same thing. You know the drill. Same thing here. Just put a piece. This is kind of off of a masterboard. It was a leftover, and I just, why not? Why not make it into a tag? A little card. Oh, here's another one. You'll like this one. I'm going to explain the tag for her. This is 49th and Market. One of Tracie's papers back. I just backed it because I loved the green. I thought it would just really add on to the green here. But here again, I had leftover pieces right here. And then I just added Tracie labels. But before I did this cluster right here together, and of course you can see I sewed, and then I put it on, I glued it onto the tag. Go back into Tracie's and Tracie's collaboration with Corey, and you'll see she's the cluster queen. Just saying, she's the cluster queen. Isn't that just so pretty? So that was that one. Here's just another leftovers. Avocado and piece of, I think it feels like, yep, 49th and Market. Piece that had that left over. Put a piece of dictionary page that was rusted, and a little piece of fabric, some 49th and Market fabric tape, labels, and 3 of them. This is Tracie's. Isn't that so pretty? Okay, this thing right here, it is literally 1 page out of E.Holden. what I did, I just tri-folded it. So let me see if I can find, I'll do it, I'll show you. This is going to be on a larger, so I just try, you know how you tri-fold it, go like this way? Well, this first one, I tri-folded it that way. So, and then I would punch it right here, punch it right up there. A lot of corporations fold their business letters this way. So that's how it was. Isn't that just the coolest? Hope you understand that explanation. I try my best. But that's how I did, because I wanted to have this beautiful picture right here. And I loved Edith holding the whole print font. And you can tell that I just put a little hinge on it. Why not? That's just the coolest. And of course, Edith Holden in the back and Tracie's labels. And then 49th and Market die added. Oh, lovely. Excuse me for my squeaky chair. And it really is not that thick. I mean, but it just is really nice and hold. Okay, and then this. This is just a paper bag envelope. It's one of those, oh, yeah, it's just like a little tiny, and it's plastic on the ends. It's almost like, a bag like you get cookies in. I can't find mine here. And so I just put a piece of Edith Holden on, but this is Tim Holtz bird. And I just used fall colors that I wanted. And it really, and plus I thought it matched very well. And surprising, it is not very thick. Really makes it nice and sturdy. Okay, here is another Tracie leftover, and just those little sheets. This is leftover stuff. One of the things that I made ahead of time, you know, you can see it was just really short, and you always want to start with the base, so I had a piece of leftover index card, added just scraps, literally scraps. A tea bag up here, that's what those dark, and that was the blueberry tea bag. Leftover rub-ons, leftover Tracie Fox pieces of paper, some book page, some tape, labels, specimen. I mean, really. And I put it all together, that I just glued it onto a piece of fold over, made it into a nice little tuck. Same thing with this. This piece right here, I did ahead of time. Same concept, you just collaged it, added the little girl. Did not sew it, but I really like it. So then this is one of the last ones that I'm going to show you. Same concept, but it really was, I glued it to this piece, the back page of the signature, of the second signature. It was a leftovers. This back was 49th and Market. Let me take everything out. Oop. I'll fix that. There, you can see it better. This back piece was 49th and Market. I had a leftover piece of the Curators paper. Edith Holden. And I love the E.Holden print font. I just had a little piece of scrap, punched, let that on top. That's what I did. I just layered it. Now, here's a little tidbit. So the back part, you see this part right here, I added that piece right there. I added, yeah, I think, oh, there we go. I added this piece of paper to the very back. That was my first layer. And this piece is thinner than the rest, but I knew I was going to add more. So this piece is full size. The second piece, the 49th and Market, only comes down to maybe here. And it doesn't really matter. It doesn't need to be all the way down. This E.Holden needed to come down to here. And then, of course, this part. So if you have some short pieces, use them. Use them in layers like this. That is just the easiest way to do it. I'm going to put that away and then tuck these back in. And then the back one is just a tuck. That's easy peasy. You all know how to do that. So I thank you very much. I hope this has inspired you. I hope you can take a few bits. I will find all of the videos. I'll try to find all the videos that I learned, like that envelope and a few other things down below. I will put all of the kits that I use from Tracie. And thanks, Tracie. You are just the greatest. You really are. So, and I will put the link for the rest of the team. Please check them out. I know there is some fabulous art is going on. Every single one of them, we are rocking this art world and journal world all over, and we're all over the world. So thanks again. Like and subscribe me and tell your friends. See you next time. Bye.